Hello everyone, I'm Nova, and today's video is sponsored by SN Company, taking you into a new world never seen before. Now let's get to the main topic. I was a street orphan from a very young age. I've forgotten the exact reasons, only vague fragments remain. When my parents and I were walking down the street, they suddenly collapsed. Then the people around us grabbed me and kept running forward. Other than that, I have no memories of my childhood. I don't even remember what my parents looked like, only that my father had shiny black fur, and my mother smelled faintly of mint. Beyond that, nothing. My adoptive father found me wandering near the border of the central southern region. At that time, my fur was dull and yellow. My hands and feet were festering, and my eyes were inflamed from malnutrition, constantly secreting discharge. He was involved with the Southern Region's self-governing group, and sometimes served as an inspector patrolling the border. Daily defense and vigilance were handled by police and soldiers, trained at our Southern Region school, rotating in shifts. It's strange, most of the Gray Domain was chaotic, yet this area, jointly managed by multiple races, was ironically the most orderly and peaceful place. When my adoptive father saw me standing alone and swaying at the border, people around him advised him not to take me home, because the situation in other parts of the Gray Domain was too complicated, especially since I had come from the Central Region. There had always been conflicts between the people of the Central Region and the Southern Region. The Central Region people couldn't stand how disciplined and orderly the Southern Region people were, while the Southern Region people despised how the Central Region hoarded White Domain resources, yet exploited their own citizens, turning the entire Central Region into a false peace held together by gangs. So the Southern Region built barriers and walls along the border. Only those with a pass issued by the Southern Region's diplomatic office in the Central Region could enter. For people from other regions, the Southern Region was more lenient. As long as they had proper identification, they could come in. Another reason was that some thugs from the Central Region would abduct children from the Southern Region, because the Southern Region's infrastructure and medical care were far better than in other areas. Before border defenses were built, they would sneak into homes at night and take people away. No one knew where those people ended up, and no one could ever find them. Whenever my adoptive parents took us to visit my grandparents in the Central Region, they always warned us not to eat any meat there, because we would never know where that meat came from. Perhaps the Gray Domain will always be a cruel place, but my adoptive parents were truly the light in my life. My adoptive father went against everyone's objections and said, "She's still so young. What could she possibly know or do?" Then he brought me home. At that time, my adoptive mother had just given birth to Andrew, a gray child with atavistic features. When I first saw Andrew, I found him terrifying, just like the little jellyfish, who always floated around the house and startled me when I was most afraid. So back then, I preferred to stay close to the thing that seemed most normal, the robot. As time passed, I got used to everything in that house, became familiar with the neighbors, and grew closer to my adoptive parents and Andrew. Yet I always felt a distance between me and the Gray family, as if I wasn't truly one of them. Until I was 17, when Nair said what I feared most, that I was just an adopted beast person, and could never truly be a Gray family member. I ran home, but fear made me crouch at the shop entrance. I don't remember how long I stayed there, until Andrew came out, saw me, and asked what had happened. What happened that afternoon might have been the salvation of my life. Whether it was Andrew firmly telling me I was family, or my adoptive parents confronting Nair's parents about their son's hurtful words, or the next day, when the Nair brothers came to apologize. Those moments are still vivid, as if they happened yesterday. I'm grateful my adoptive parents brought me home, and thankful to Andrew for protecting me and the robot, both when we were young and after we grew up. Even though they've passed away, on lonely nights I can still feel the warmth they left behind. I'm sorry for being a bit sentimental. Maybe we'll tell other stories next time. Good night, my friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you next time.